Hey friends, how are you? Happy Monday. How was your weekend? I would love to know if you had a good weekend. One of the questions that I ask my nutrition coaching clients on their check-in forms that they send to me before calls is when is the last start date of your menstrual cycle? Because our hormones and our menstrual cycle, our period is absolutely related to our nutrition, our hunger levels, our appetite, our mood, our energy, our performance in our workouts, our weight, so the number on the scale. And if you're not looking at biofeedback measures in relation to your nutrition, you're going to feel frustrated because this stuff changes on a week to week basis and how we feel and our mood and energy levels. And it's so important that we're addressing this and setting you up for success in really what your body is needing in that moment. So just more of a personal story from this weekend. So I started my period on Saturday. And first of all, there's no such thing as too much information here because whenever my clients are like, so Jenny, this is probably TMI, but something related to digestion or periods or anything like that. There's no such thing as that because everything we're doing is so holistic. Like our body's a system. And if one piece is off, if one area is off, it's going to affect the other systems of the body. So it's important that we're looking at all the pieces holistically to set you up for success in whatever that looks like. So anyways, whenever before I get my period, the couple days beforehand, I'm so much more hungry. Like my appetite is significantly higher and my energy and motivation's typically lower. I'm not motivated to do my typical workouts. I kind of just want to be a lot more introverted and not social. And until I really dug deeper into these pieces and did my own work, I would be so critical of myself in those moments. And I would be like, oh my God, why am I so hungry? Why am I feeling so awful? Why am I so unmotivated? Why am I, not wanting to do my workout today? But through doing the work and really understanding what's happening in the body, I now understand why my body's giving me the signals. And now I'm just surrendering to that and saying, okay, I got to acknowledge this. I got to eat more today. I have to not do that workout and just focus on walking or restorative movement or yoga and just go inward and, be by myself if that's what I'm needing in that moment. And that's okay, right? I think we're just so hard on ourselves and saying well, what's wrong with me? I don't feel my best today or I'm feeling all off. And we really have to just acknowledge those moments, those days, surrender and know that they're temporary and just really respecting our body in that moment and being there and giving our body that. So when we're starting our period, there's so many things happening that require so much more energy. Our uterine lining is building and our body's potentially getting ready for a pregnancy. And there's just so much energy that requires that process to happen. And so we're needing more rest. And there's all sorts of research behind this. It's really actually an interesting concept that we can go into more around how you should actually periodize your exercise and training around your cycle and, how this is related to performance and, your nutrition as well. So it's a super interesting process, but really understanding just hormones better and why this is happening can just allow us to surrender to that better. Anyways, so that was my weekend. I kind of just really slowed down and listened to that, but I'm feeling much better and ready for the week ahead. So I asked you guys in the Facebook group, can a healthy relationship with food and weight loss coexist together? And this is literally my goal for people to understand how to do for themselves, because I think it's so the opposite direction where we feel like we're in this obsessive mode around food if we're trying to lose weight, and it does not have to be this way. So we are really sold instant gratification and easy fixes every single day in every aspect of our life. When we think of fast food, it used to be that we would get in our car, drive to the establishment, park the car, go inside, order the food, and then sit down and eat it. But now we have drive-thrus that were created, and we have to actually get in our car, though we would have to get in our car, go to the restaurant, get the drive-thru, eat the food. Now we literally can click on our phone and get food delivered to us. So that is like really fast food, right? We are sold easy. Like we many times are just sold like what is the easiest thing that we can do in these moments. And many times we don't really know any different. So we're not always taught about food, about nutrition, unless your family really practice these habits of cooking and preparing food together, or if maybe you took nutrition classes in college, maybe you have a different foundational knowledge. But you're not alone if you feel totally lost with what foods you should be eating, why you should be eating certain things. And this is exactly like what I'm teaching my clients around, and really understanding this for themselves and what works best for them. So yeah, it's totally normal in the beginning to feel like shopping, preparing, and cooking healthy foods is daunting and overwhelming. It's definitely way easier to order pizza, order Chinese food, and just really check out in front of the TV. So it does take more thought, planning, prioritizing with these things that are important to you. But you have to remember that any successful thing that you've done in your life required these habits, these pieces. So you really just want to like start small in the beginning and add these healthy habits into your routine. And really creating a healthy relationship with food is not about being perfect. It's certainly not about being perfect with your nutrition choices all the time. And I think this is the mentality that we've been taught with diets, right? That we're either eating perfectly based on prescribed rules that we were given, or good foods that we're supposed to be eating. And if we eat the bad food list, then we're a failure. But like, this is the problem, is that this is what we've been taught. And so we just have to relearn, what our body's needing and check in more with those signals. So this is not about doing a 30-day program and expecting your problems to be solved, right? This is really about making eating more thoughtful day to day and less automatic. And when I say thoughtful, I don't mean obsessive. I mean taking a minute to actually think about what is going to help you feel your best ultimately and nourish your body. And it means taking the time to stop and eat during the day. And it's about also identifying why and how we're eating, not just why we're eating. So I have a couple tips that I just wanted to share with you, or thoughts that I wanted to share with you, diving a little bit deeper into this. And really identifying that you should have a long-term strategy with your nutrition goals rather than a short-lived tactic. So diets are very tactical. It's very much like, here's a short-term solution to really a long-term problem. Your nutrition should have a roadmap of how you're going to achieve your goals long-term. And these tactics are really specific actions within the shorter time frame. So in order to be successful with your nutrition, you have to have a game plan for the long road. And relying on willpower is a short-lived tactic that's only going to get you so far. And I hear this a lot from people that they're like, well, if I only had more willpower, I would be more successful, with nutrition. And yeah, like, you want to have a sense of motivation towards what you're doing, but that's not going to be there every day. So you really have to understand like why you're doing these choices for yourself and the deeper reason. You have to have the foods available also that are going to make you feel your best. So it's so important to plan your days in general and add meal times into your days on a day-to-day basis, and like write out dinners for the week. You have to have a game plan with your nutrition, because if you're walking into your day hoping that your nutrition works, you're setting yourself up to reach for those quick fixes and easy options that aren't going to make you feel your best. So if you know that Mondays are extra crazy every single week, and you have less than 15 minutes for your lunch those days, and by the time you get home on Monday night, everybody's hungry, everybody's ready for dinner. And if you don't have a game plan for those meals, you're gonna be ordering the fastest thing you can that, again, may not be making you feel your best. So you have to prioritize taking the time, maybe on the weekend if that works for your schedule, to plan and prep foods that are going to make you feel your best, and really just visualize how you want your day to go. I was talking with one of my clients this weekend, and she was going away for a family event, and we've been working together for several months, and we've really been working through a lot of emotional eating, overeating challenges with her that she struggled with in the past, and she has consistently gotten so much better with a lot of the mindset work and mental breakthroughs we've achieved together. But more recently, she has really been successful in not having any of these episodes for weeks, which is amazing. And a big piece of that is also because she is planning her days successfully with her nutrition. So she's making sure that she has all of her meals ready to go, prepared, they're balanced, they meet her needs. She has them with her when she goes to work. She has a game plan. And yes, she can still include, fun foods and adapt to those situations. But when she keeps her blood sugar stable, her energy's more stable, and she's able to really come from a better mental space in those moments around the foods that maybe she knows are gonna not make her feel her best and lead to less healthy choices. So it's really about understanding yourself and what is going to help you be successful. And then recognizing how you want to feel. So before you reach for the foods that you know are not going to make you feel your best, really try to pause and think about, what are you needing in that moment? Because we're always looking to solve a problem. So if food is going to solve the problem or make you feel better, really ask yourself that question. And if it's yes, then make a balanced meal or snack and nourish your body. Absolutely. If the answer is no to that question, it's not really what you're needing at the moment, have a list of other non-food nourishing ways that you can go to, and really identifying what are some other ways that I can just kind of reset myself to help me move through this. So if you recognize okay, eating 5 pieces of pizza right now is not going to make me feel my best, or overeating ice cream right now is not really going to make me feel my best, or how is this going to affect my digestion, my sleep quality later? How is this going to make me feel mentally to be able to be productive and have energy to do all the things that I need to do? I know you have so many hats that you wear each day, and you don't have time to not feel good, right? But when you start to make more and more of these positive choices for yourself, and you notice the reward that's positive from that, it makes you want to continue to make these good choices. So when we string together these healthy habits, it makes us want to continue to do these things for ourselves that make us feel our best. And after you start to do this for a while, these temptations happen less and less often, and you're so much more in control of those moments. And when they do happen, because this stuff does happen, you're able to move through it so much faster. We don't get stuck there for days and days and weeks and months and months. And then just kind of really identifying what's worth it for you. It's important that you're able to include foods that you enjoy on a daily basis. I strongly believe that, and I ask my clients that from the beginning. What are your non-negotiables? What are foods and drinks you love that we have to make sure are included in your week? Because if we say that we can't have things, we want them more. It's true human psychology. So it's really important that you're able to enjoy events and holidays and cocktails on date night and food when you're traveling and your grandmother's favorite recipes. These things are quality of life, right? This is important that we're able to do. And what this means to you can look really, really different. Every single person's different in what they value in those pieces. And that's okay. That's the beauty of individualization, right? But you also want to recognize how you want to feel and what's really worth it to you. So just kind of recognizing, if I'm going to feel super bloated and uncomfortable after eating my grandmother's cookies every single time I do this, or if I feel really depressed the next day after I have too many cocktails the night before, maybe those things aren't really worth it, and we're using them maybe for another mode or escape than we're recognizing. And you're the only one that can really identify that, but this is something that I'll really work through with my clients to break down and identify of what this means to them, and something, we work on digging deeper into around where this is coming from. So yes, like have those things in your life, but it's all about coming from a place of like, is this really worth it to me? How do I want to feel? And is this helping me achieve my goals long term? This has a lot to do with identifying the habits that are surrounding these choices too. So, if we're really stacking our day with a lot of things that make us feel good and getting enough sleep and drinking water and managing stress, like these situations are also significantly more manageable for sure. So it really just takes time to create self-reflection on what this means to you, but it's totally possible. So I just wanted to share some of those thoughts with you. I hope that was helpful. And let me know if you're still here, if you're watching Team Replay. I would love to engage with you. Or if you're watching Team Live, let me know. Give me a heart if this was helpful. Give me a thumbs up, or anything here that you're struggling with, because we all have struggled with these moments. And that's why I do what I do, because there is a lot of us that have struggled with this, and I've struggled with these moments in my life as well. And I just love being able to share things that have worked for me, and also things that have worked for other people that I've worked with, because everybody's super different, and what works for me doesn't mean how it has to be for you, and that's totally okay. It's really the beauty of individual coaching, right? And it's just looking at around what you're needing in that moment. So it's totally possible, and I want this for you. If this is something you are struggling with and this resonated with you, please always just reach out. I would love to have a genuine conversation with you as always. So I hope you guys have a great Monday evening, and I'll talk to you soon.